We haven't done one of those real unearthed gems in a while, and I think Desire Doue could be one of those unearthed gems. And this scout report needs to be taken in a little bit more than most, because the player that we're going to talk about will never be cheaper. This isn't a South American one either. This is one played in Europe already, but it's a player that's never going to be cheaper than he is right now. And he's got a ceiling that is as high as anyone's in world football. Someone that might be a genuine once-in-a-lifetime talent, someone that you're all going to be hearing a lot of. Come back to this video in a year, right? 2 years at tops and go, fucking hell, called it. Now, Doue's currently 18 years of age, and he's playing for Rennes. And he is, where does he play, Steve? Well, on the pitch, I haven't seen him at centre-half, but he seems like he's played basically everywhere else. 10, left wing, number 8, anywhere across midfield, anywhere across the front, just anywhere. Now, it's hard to pin down what his best position is, because the versatility on him is genuinely insane. He was described early as a number 10, but I think he's a lot more than that. And I think he's got this weird combination of, winger, number 8, number 10, capable of basically covering any sort of attacking position. And he's got a really unique profile as well. He's got strength and aggression, which are such underrated parts, not just of his game, but I think everybody's game. That sort of aggression, like raw, is a big thing. And he's got the frame that allows him to be a bit of a monster when it comes to dueling and pressing. He rides challenges really well. He absorbs the contact really well. And he constantly battles in every situation. And that mentality, that is what I think is going to push him into the next level. We see loads of talented kids. I see kids that do just genuinely insane things with the ball at their feet. Just Ronaldinho level skills, especially in France. If you watch a lot of Ligue 1, there are a lot of wingers in France that will have you just dribbling. Go, fucking hell, look at this. But they don't necessarily have the aggression. They don't necessarily want to run. They don't necessarily want to fucking lift someone when it's time to lift someone. Doue kind of does. And he's obviously blessed on the ball. And it's amazing to see someone that is so blessed on the ball. He can turn, he can receive, he can seem to get out of pressure. All sort of angles seem to work for him. Minimal touches as well. Turns like a 5'6" player. Almost like, do you know what? Do you know who I think you could draw parallels to? Someone absolutely ripping it up at the moment. Someone I'm looking forward to watching in the Euros, actually, in Musiala. Withstands the contact with ease as well. I get a lot of that in France. France, I think, is a good breeding ground for players to come and play in England, because I think that the game is probably the closest aligned to the physicality of like the Premier League. But in terms of final ball, the ceiling's genuinely outrageous. It's this. There's a De Bruyne to it, like the precision, the proficiency, the disguise in the passes, the weight of the passes. All the makings of a genuine, like, creative monster. I don't know where you play him. I think he's one of those, he just sort of, do you know what it is? Like, if Scholes was quicker, you'd have, and a bit of a dribble about him. You just find a way. He's just like an excellent footballer. You find a way to fit him into your squad. He could probably even play as a deeper pivot, like that sort of, maybe he develops into that. Maybe he's got the reading to do that. Like, genuinely could play him anywhere on the pitch. I think he would look all right. He creates chances. His ball skills are just exceptional. And the metrics compared to the top 5 leagues attacking midfielders, the shot creating actions, the take-ons, the passes, the goal creating actions, he's in the top percentiles for all of them. And the standout ability with him, it's just watching him on the ball. For someone so young as well, he looks like he's playing against, it looks like a ringer playing against younger kids. That's the only way I could sort of describe him. You combine that with the physique, that makes him really tough to dispossess. The spatial awareness is very good. And he's got that ability to cover a lot of distance with his work. And he works hard for the team as well, which I think is, again, this is where the aggression of him seems to come in. Like, he's someone that's not taking anything for granted. He's going to be a workhorse. And like I said, you get a lot of players with like, oh, isn't he great on the ball? Isn't he like, oh, he's done futsal since he was 3 years of age. Who fucking cares? Is he going to smash someone when it's time to smash someone? Yes, he is. He's quick. Like, the explosive is he's quick. Versatility, explosivity, great physique, really sort of good ability to sort of stop, accelerate, stop. Real fucking nightmare when it comes to trying to mark, and he doesn't really lose any momentum when he does that as well. He'll be a fucking nightmare. Honestly, nightmare. And whatever he's going to cut, and surely Ineos know about him, surely, with them having a bit of a foothold in French league already. You know, some players get viewed as like a powerful carrier of the ball. Doue's style is what would probably be known as silky. He glides over. I'm so jealous of France's ability to create footballers like this. He glides through open spaces, you know, and he does really well to sort of bend and weave his way through pressure, and the touches are just a joke. And when he does get carrying the ball over a longer distance, seems like he's composed, seems like he's assured. And some young players, you get the sense that they're trying to either offload the ball a bit quick so they don't get caught in possession. Others definitely keep hold of it too long in the hope that, you know, maybe they'll buy a bit of respect, or they just don't want to get rid of the ball. Doue seems to have that sweet spot of good decision making, and he makes the right play at the right time for the right reason. And that, as we've seen with Manu, that can be a real separator when it comes to abilities with people. Now, Total Football posed the question of, what does being a good footballer look like in their Theory of Soccer series? And he presented 5 in-possession skills. 1, knowing where you need to be. 2, the sensing and the anticipation of where you need to be, changing that up. 3, being quick enough to arrive where you need to be before that changes again. 4, having a good first touch so that where you need to be continues to be where you are, just a little bit longer before you're closed down. And empathizing with teammates and opponents to understand where they think they need to be and anticipate their arrival in those spaces so that you can make the correct decision with the ball. And when we look at Doue, and you look at many other prospects, you see impressive highlight reels or flashy plays. Like I said, there's so many have got those flashy plays, big recovery tackles at a centre half, long dribbles from a winger, and you hope that those other skills, the timing, the understanding, starts to come in a little bit later. But Doue kind of already out the box with that. And something that's really incredible about him is, if I had to summarize him in a single word, and what his sort of best attribute is, why United need to sign him, it's intent. Every single action seems to be focused on making something happen. Every first touch is into space. Every opportunity, he is looking to be vertical and progressive with his actions, and every opportunity he gets, he's looking to anticipate the opposition movement and respond accordingly. Look, everyone loves to hype young players up, and I've been guilty of it myself in the past, but Doue deserves the hype. This is the best young prospect coming out of France at the moment, and this is France, so that might be at the world-class level. You could honestly be looking at one of the best players in the world in the future, and this is one that you take a gamble on. He's not going to cost hundreds of millions. It's going to be in the tens, if even. Make the call, get him in, figure out the rest at a later date, because he's that good. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.